to Meds Made Easy. My name is Tarun Verma with Telfair Specialty Pharmacy. Today we're going to talk about Memantine, also known as Namenda. So what is it for? It is used for moderate to severe dementia due to Alzheimer's. Essentially, how does Alzheimer's sort of come about? Very complicated. There's still a lot we don't know about Alzheimer's. And I'll talk a little bit more about the little pearls and caveats at the end of the video. But essentially, you have this thing called glutamate, and it overexcites your glutamate receptors, leading to neuron cell death, right? Blah, 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 blah. What does that all really mean? So neurons are your brain cells. You know how they say, like, oh, you drink too much, you're going to lose brain cells? Well, those brain cells are called neurons. And so there's this stuff called glutamate that whenever you have Alzheimer's, it is overexciting those brain cells to the point where they die. Now, Namenda comes in and blocks that from happening. So it really kind of gives you a little bit more time if you guys are familiar with the Alzheimer's disease state. Alzheimer's is a disease state that either slowly or very quickly takes over. And it's very devastating to have happen or to see someone go through it. My grandfather had it. It was very hard to see it. But for him, it happened very quickly. With other people, it could take, a course of 10 years for that, gradual dementia to take over to the point where they don't know where they are, what's going on, short-term, long-term memory is affected. But Namenda slows it down, so it gives it a little bit more time. Because eventually Alzheimer's, there's no treating Alzheimer's. You just manage it till it gets severe enough to where, things just start going really, really bad. And so this is what slows it down. Again, it's for moderate to severe dementia. If you have light, there's a lot of other medications that you use for that, and we'll go through those in the subsequent videos that we make. Let's see here. What are some things? You can take this medication with or without food. Does not matter. It's in complete disregard to your meals. So whenever it's easiest for people, now generally people with Alzheimer's, they're having trouble taking the medications because they forget. They essentially forget to take the medications, which is why one of the big caveats here is that for someone who has moderate to severe dementia, hopefully they're under the care of somebody, family, nursing home, etc., etc. Because these people, they'll forget to take their meds, they might take more, they might take the wrong ones, and all of that just leads to a lot of bad stuff that could happen. If you miss several days worth of doses, you need to call your doctor before you just start it up again. Again, it works on your brain, so you need to be very careful on how this is taken. Make sure that it's taken under careful doctor supervision. I will put up a list of side effects right here. And then it's not really, you take it in any, there's no regard to hepatic impairment, so you don't need to worry about your liver. If you have severe renal impairment, then yeah, this dose needs to be kind of adjusted for you, but you just make sure your doctor knows, or they should know, and if they don't, just make sure they do know. And if if you're taking the long-acting, the ER extended release version, this stays in your system for about 9 to 12 hours. If it's immediate release, it's 3 to 7 hours, depending on the different formulations. They have so many different types now out there. The careful thing about this is that when you have Alzheimer's, depending on your disease state and how it's progressing, your doses have to be titrated either very frequently or not much at all. So in the case of my grandfather, his dementia due to Alzheimer's progressed very, very quickly. So almost every 6 months, it was a different picture with him. He looked this way during these 6 months, and then these 6 months were better than these 6 months, but then the subsequent 6 months just got really, really bad. And so in all of those phases, you had to constantly keep titrating his dose. First, you'd keep increasing it, and then when he was doing really good, we had to come off of it, because again, the side effects happen. And that's how we know how to titrate medications, is based off of the side effects that the patients are going through. So again, this is why you really need to have good caregivers who are very, very attentive to any of the patients who have Alzheimer's. And if you have someone who you're going to be caring for that has Alzheimer's, these are things that you need to know moving forward. You just have to track it. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but then at the same time, their dosages will get adjusted pretty frequently. So you constantly have to be on it, essentially, always taking them to the doctors, always getting the checkups done, always going, hey, their mood has been like this for the last 2 weeks, or they've been extra belligerent, or they've been extra docile, and then medication dosages have to be tweaked. So just be careful about that. And again, if the patient has any history of seizures or CV issues, make sure your doctor knows. Other than that, it's very well tolerated. I mean, you do have to watch out for the side effects, things like the headaches and things like that. And your behavioral aspects are a huge part of Alzheimer's. Again, that's what makes it just so complicated to deal with. And again, there's so many medications that they're going to be on. They're usually never just on Namenda by themselves, unless there's, they're so advanced or whatnot. But usually you stack medications with it. So that's also something you have to watch out for. So, but I hope that this helps, guys. Leave us some comments down below if you need something more in depth on this, or if you want us to do a whole video on just Alzheimer's and understanding the 101s of just Alzheimer's, we can do that as well. And again, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Meds Made Easy. Bye, guys.